George Ford, are you there?
Yeah, hey, Keith, good morning. Happy Sunday.
Oh, good. How are you?
I'm good. Good tribute to John Wooden and Mike's run here for a seat. So, great stuff, guys.
Hi, George.
How you doing?
You have a question for Mike?
You know, I do. Just generally in the state of the state, when I say the state of the entire union and our outlook, you know, we've got this, even on the world stage, we almost have this, you know, blame America first kind of bias out there. And also, it seems to me, you know, from the layman's perspective that you know, freedom is truly under attack when you look at that. And I take it even one step further and say, you know, why is it? How did we get to the point that, you know, that freedom and capitalism and somehow, you know, greed being tied to capitalism is you know, how does capitalism say have a monopoly on greed? I just don't understand how that's worked out and how it's affecting our governance, our self-governance. What's your take on that, Mike?
Well, I mean, there are a couple of different things which you mentioned. It's blame America first attitude. It is, you know, bad in the Obama administration. It's even worse in our current congressman, you know, James McGovern, who, you know, you look for blame America first in the dictionary and you see his picture.
Hey, there's a rim shot.
So he's, you know, he spends his time in South America and more particularly in Cuba, and some of the things he goes to Cuba to say are just astonishing. You know, he remarks that the Cuban-American relations aren't so good, and it's because of hardliners on both sides, and how we have to work against the hardliners in America and the hardliners in Cuba. And the hardliners in Cuba are, you know, is Fidel Castro, whom he had just spent 3 hours talking to. So there's that, and this need to praise the Cuban medical system and the medical system in the rest of the world, in Europe. I think that, you know, in my opinion, you know, as I say, I work at Harvard. I'm surrounded by a lot of people who are liberals, and I think that there's a kind of Gestalt change that they go through when they're in college, where they learn that America hasn't always been the most pristine power in the world, that we had something to do with the overthrow of the Shah of Iran, for example, or that we were not always ultra clean in South America, and their ideology or their Gestalt shifts, and at that point they interpret things in a completely different light, and they interpret things in the light that if something's going wrong, it's America, and America trying to sell Coca-Cola everywhere we go. That's at the basis of it. That there's not any selfless or freedom promulgating reason for our behavior, but rather it's just rampant capitalism and greedy, blood-sucking octopus, jackbooted capitalists who are trying to take over the world. And I think that's the sort of mentality that characterizes I think a lot of people in the Obama administration. It's just, you know, it's our fault.